if we have a fan, a cooling fan under the M1 Max 16-inch MacBook Pro, would the performance be better or not? What we are looking at right now is Cinema 4D R26. This is not running it through Rosetta, this is running it through M1. And what we will be doing, we will be doing a rendering test for this Lollipop project, which if you want to test, you can find in the description, so you can download it and test it on your own machine. Now, before we go and render this project, a quick rundown for the tech stuff that we have. We have the 16-inch MacBook Pro with 64GB of RAM, 8TB of storage, and then 32-core GPU with the 10-core CPU as well. We are working with Cinema 4D R26, the native Apple Silicon, and we will be using Redshift since Redshift right now is supported by Apple M1 natively. I do have two options of fans. We have this fan right here, which needs an external power adapter, and then it has a 5000 RPM or more, which it would be pushing the air from below, and then you put your laptop into it. This is really good, where it would keep the M1 Max really cool throughout the render, but we will see if that would improve the performance or not. And this is loud, by the way, so keep that in mind. The second one, which is kind of my favorite, and this is way cheaper than the first one. The first one is around $80, this one is around $20, and this have 5 fans, but they are silent. So it has a bigger fan in the middle and then 4 fans on the side, and we will be putting that under the Mac, and we will see if the performance would be improved. But before that, we will go ahead and start the render on the M1 Max. And with that, we will go ahead and start the render. We will keep an eye on the performance as well. So we did start the render right now. The Mac is on high power mode, and it's connected to power, and it's connected to an external display as well. Everything else is being recorded externally, so it wouldn't affect the performance. And right now it's just the Mac by itself. And then we can see that the Apple M1 Max GPU started being used to the max right now. And then these are the cores. So if we go right here and take a look at the cores, we have around 6 cores being used, and then 10, 9, 8, 7, they are barely being used, which we can see that at the bottom as well. What we have is the performance cores. They are being used very heavily, and that's for number 3 and 4, and then 5 just a little bit, and then you have the efficiency cores, but definitely the GPU is being used to the max. We will see how many minutes this would take, and then after it's being done, we would put the fans under, and then we will see the performance difference. Keep in mind, if you want to do the same test, this project will be in the link under the subscribe button, which you should hit, and then we can go from there. We are 3 minutes in, and the fans started kicking for the M1 Max, so that's something to keep in mind in order to keep the machine cool. We are done with the first render, and the first render took 4 minutes and 47 seconds. So we will go ahead and note that. And this is the final render right here. Right now I am scrubbing through the picture viewer. So this is the fan that is under the MacBook right now. I will turn it in a second. But again, what we will be doing, same thing with the same settings, and then we will just run that again, and we will see if the performance will be improved, and if it's improved by how much as well. And then I will go ahead and turn it on, and you can see how loud it can be. So 3, 2, 1. You see, it's very loud. Holy cow, this is loud, but I can definitely feel the air starting to pressure from under. And with that, we will go ahead and hit render, because I don't want my audio to be with the fan. So let's go ahead and start and see if there is any difference. So we are done, and the machine is cool from the sides and it is warm from the middle, which makes sense because all the GPU and stuff is there. So even with that big of a machine, it's still warm. However, the time that this was done with is 4 minutes and 42 seconds. The difference is only 5 seconds, and you can say that's in the margin of error. So even after having this big thingy that cost $88 and it's very loud and all of that, it's still the same thing and there is not a huge difference. And the usage with the power and all of that, it was the same. Now what we will go ahead and do is change this and then use the silent one, and we will see if there is any difference as well. So this is now on and it's on the highest speed, however it's very silent. Now the beauty for this one, you can simply connect it through a USB, so it's just a normal 2.0 USB, and this is a small adapter right here for USB-C, and it's plugged directly into the Mac. So now what we will go ahead and render, and again we will be rendering using Redshift. So the render did start, and remember we have 4 minutes and 47 seconds, and then the second one with the fan was 4 minutes and 42 seconds. So we will be seeing this one, how much it would take. And then if we look at the usage, it's still the usual usage of the efficiency cores, which are 3 and 4 very heavily, 5 barely, and then the M1 Max graphic card is being used completely. Now keep in mind, when it comes to the settings for the machine, I have only selected to use the M1 Max GPU and not the CPU, because the CPU is very slow. So if you are rendering with Redshift and you are using the CPU, the render will be very slow. However, if you do use the GPU, it will be way quicker and it will be way faster. Now, if you want to know more information about that, there are videos that are coming up which I will be doing a comparison between the CPU and the GPU when it comes to rendering with Cinema 4D using Redshift, and I will be talking about Octane in the future and Octane X as well. So subscribe to know all of that, and we will be waiting and seeing how long this will take in order to finish all the render. So it is done, and it got done in 4 minutes and 43 seconds, which means this is only 1 second slower than the other fan blower or fan pad or whatever you want to call it, which cost $88 and has a fan that is very loud. So we can see that the difference between just the Mac itself with cooling or without cooling is not that much, because the Mac itself finished it in 4 minutes and 47 seconds. Then after that, when we did the big fan, it took 4 minutes and 42 seconds, and right now it took 4 minutes and 43 seconds. So you can say it's in the margin of error, which means you really don't need any fan for your MacBook M1 Max, whether you have the 14-inch or the 16-inch. In this case, the 16-inch. You can simply just use it and then you will be good to go. And that's the test for today. If there is any questions or concerns, just leave them in the comments below, and then we can go from there. And have a wonderful day, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.